Warm welcome to Miller Park on this Tuesday night. It's game 161. The Padres and a Brew Crew. Milwaukee looking to build on its 82nd win established on Monday night. They will have a winning record. Anthony Bass, Tyler Thornberg on the hill tonight. The Brewers' young pitcher makes his third and final start of her journey this year that began at AA, went to AAA, and now on the major league level. Hopes to get some support like last night. Carlos Gomez adds to his career-high total. He has 19 home runs on the season. Ricky Weeks shot another one. A missile last night out of here for number 21 on the season. And Jonathan Lucroy got in the act as well. He has 12 home runs. That was the arsenal used last night in their win over the Padres. Alongside Jerry Augustine, I'm Craig Kashanis. We welcome you back to our broadcast here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The home run ball proving big last night. They won 69 games when they hit a home run. Only 13, Jerry, when they don't, yet they still lead the National League in home runs.
Well, you know, you look at this ball club, and there's no question when you go up and down that lineup, especially 1 through 6. These guys all have a lot of power. They can hit the ball at a ballpark at any time. But, you know, it's the ballpark, too. They ought to hit the ball here. It's a ballpark. You can drive the ball to all fields. The one thing you look at this lineup, you got to take advantage of your surroundings. And when they're here at Miller Park, they definitely do that.
Yeah, this team, no question about it, has been built for Miller Park. And with the emergence of Carlos Gomez as well, it's only added to the home run total. And Tyler Thornberg hopes to be a thorn in the Padres side tonight out on the mound. Dan Rock tell you what his game plan is going to be against San Diego when we come back to Miller Park.
Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Roof is closed at Miller Park, the penultimate game of the 2012 season. Rock, that means second to last. Tyler Thornberg is on the mound tonight, just turned 24 years of age, and getting a glimpse at the Brewers' future here, one of the top pitching prospects in the Milwaukee system. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us tonight. We've got a game tonight, one more tomorrow, and then that'll do it for the 2012 season. And tonight we get a chance to see Tyler Thornberg back on the mound, back as a starting pitcher. It's been a long time for him.
And I'm going to ignore that comment you made. I knew what that meant. But Tyler Thornberg, you're not sure what you're going to get out of him today. I think the Brewers are be very happy with 4 innings out of Thornberg, who hasn't really made a start since September 1st down in the minor leagues. He hasn't pitched since the 22nd of September. He made a relief appearance, 1 inning out of the bullpen against the Nationals. He's had some home run problems, given up 8 in 18 innings of work. He's going to have to come up with a way to throw that curveball over early, and hopefully a good finish to his season. He's making a start for Willie Peralta here tonight.
Yeah, Peralta out with a biceps injury. He'll be shut down for the rest of the season. This was supposed to be Peralta's night, but instead it'll be Tyler Thornberg. He had a no decision against the St. Louis Cardinals on July 18th, went 4 2/3 in that game. He just blistered his way through the Brewers minor league system. It'll be fun to watch him pitch tonight. The Brewers have 7 rookies in their starting lineup tonight. Braun's in there, however. The race for the RBI title continues between Braun and Chase Headley. Game 2 coming up next. Night here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Roof is all closed up tonight, October 2nd, and the Brewers looking for win number 83. The Padres are going to finish under 500, but they played very good baseball in the second half. They are over 500 after the All-Star break. Bud Black in his 6th season as the Padres skipper. Here's his Piggly Wiggly batting order tonight. Everett Cabrera, the league leader in stolen bases, leads off. Logan Forsythe, then Chase Headley, the National League leader in RBIs. In the middle of the order, it's Yonder Alonso, Mark Kotze, the former Brewer, Will Venable, and the bottom 3, Kristen Orphea, John Baker, and Anthony Bass. Tyler Thornberg on the mound tonight. Last started in the minor leagues on September 2nd, and went just 3 2/3 that day against Memphis. So it's been a long time since he's had this routine as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, so you figure his pitch count is going to be fairly low here today. The Brewers would be very happy with 4 innings. You saw the home runs, 8 home runs in 18 innings, and last pitched on the 22nd of September out of the bullpen against the Nationals.
And the defense behind Thornberg tonight: Ryan Braun, Logan Schaefer, Nori Aoki, Taylor Green, Gene Segura, Jeff Bianchi, and Travis Ishikawa go around the horn, and Martin Maldonado will do the catching Tyler Thornberg. Rookies everywhere in the Brewers batting order. The mainstays over there, and Ryan Braun, of course. But it's a much different story with the rookies this season for Milwaukee, and that's why the organization is so energized right now. There's talented young players coming up and making major contributions here. Taylor Green goes sliding into the sidewall. No balls and 2 strikes on Cabrera. There's Jim Reynolds. He'll call the balls and strikes tonight. James Hoyt, Jim Joyce, and Alan Porter on the bases. Jim Joyce, the crew chief. Tyler Thornberg was an 8-game winner in AA this season. 8-1, then won 2 games at AAA Nashville in his 8 starts. So if you combine the numbers between AA and AAA this year, he was a 10-game winner, 10-4, and had an ERA just over 3 in 21 starts.
Yeah, 24-year-old just turned 24 and needs to be able to, have better location of his fastball. Here tonight, there's a good curveball, backdoor curveball to Cabrera for a strikeout. That's going to be an important pitch to Thornberg tonight. The majority of his home runs he's given up have been on the fastball, which is fairly straight, but able to drop that hook in on Cabrera for out number 1.
Thornberg has great stuff. He's got a fastball in the mid to upper 90s. But it's been a long season for him, as it is for a lot of guys coming up from the minor leagues. They do not play in the month of September in the minor league, so typically that season ends in August, and that's why the Brewers have been a little hesitant with Thornberg. But because Peralta is out, Renicky is going to try to piece this one together, and Thornberg will get the start. There's a strike. Good fastball outside corner.
94 right on the outside corner. It's a good start as far as command. You figure he's got a little bit of nerves going. He looks pretty good so far.
And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Thornberg. Not a good start to his night.
Well, getting the fastball. It's off the outside corner. The Forsythe with 2 strikes, protecting home plate, coming up empty.
Now the Brewers are pursuing that major league strikeout record as a team, as Thornberg misses up and away to Chase Headley. So they need 16 more strikeouts to tie the record. 17 Ks after Thornberg's 2 to break the record held by the 2003 Chicago Cubs. I asked Aramis Ramirez about the 03 Cubs. He played on that team. That was a playoff team in Chicago, and I said, Aramis, what do you think about Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor, and that pitching staff? And you know what he told me? Yeah, a lot of strikeouts. So that one didn't quite make the reel for air, but you get the idea.
Well, at least you knew where you were heading, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had a great visit with Aramis Ramirez today on our Brewers Live pregame. We appreciate his time. Not in the starting lineup. He expects to be back in there tomorrow, and certainly available to pinch hit. Ron Renicki's got some serious weapons off the bench if this game gets tight late. Full count to Headley. How's that one back? Headley having a monster year. 283 average coming in with 31 home runs, by far and away a career high. He's driven in 113 this season. League leader in RBIs. There's a strike called. Hey, look at the start of Tyler Thornberg. Wow, 1, 2, 3, all strikeouts. Punches out Cabrera on a curveball. Forsythe with a fastball, and then a backwards K on Headley. smiles for Ron Rinicky as the Brewers picked up their 82nd win yesterday, guaranteeing a winning season and a chance to showcase some of these rookies in the starting lineup here tonight. Nori Aoki, he'll lead off. Logan Schaefer in the 2-hole, then Ryan Braun. In the middle of the order, it's Ishikawa, Maldonado, and Green, and then Segura, Bianchi, and Thornberg rounding it out. There is Anthony Bass. He was a late addition to this starting rotation. And he'll get the start here today, which will be his 15th start of the season. Very much in the Tyler Thornberg style of pitching, Anthony Bass.
Yeah, somewhat similar deliveries. He's making his first start since June 20th, and he was only announced as the starter for tonight's game yesterday. Andrew Werner is going to make a start tomorrow. He was supposed to pitch today.
Strike one to Norichika Aoki. Well, I've seen a few writers publish their Rookie of the Year voting numbers, and you got to vote 1 through 10, I believe, for the Rookie of the Year. And Aoki's name appears on a number of those ballots. Not going to win the Rookie of the Year, but he'll certainly be well represented, as he's had a fantastic season, continues to put up the numbers. Yeah, who'd have thought when the season began that he would emerge as the everyday right fielder? And Ron Rinicky was pretty prophetic about Aoki after watching him swing the bat this spring. With no right-handers on the bench, we asked Rinicky, who was your right-hander on the bench? He goes, Aoki, the lefty, because he's been very good against left-handers this year as he strikes out to start the first inning. Marcotte gets a call in left field tonight. Will Venable, then Chris Denorfia. And the infield is Headley, Cabrera, Forsythe, and Alonso. Same infield as we saw last night. John Baker does the catching. There's Chase Headley. Outstanding offensive year. He is an outstanding defensive player as well.
And one of the few bright spots defensively for the Padres. Were next to last in fielding percentage.
Tapper to first, and Alonso makes a play for the out. That's the first out that is a non-strikeout at this point. So here comes Braun, sitting on 112 runs batted in, just one behind Headley. He leads the league in home runs with 41. Braun has a 40-30 season this season.
Once that RBI crown. That's why he's in the game, and he wants to play tomorrow as well.
Brewers have a chance with one more home run from Gomez to have 5 20-plus home run performers this year. The team that leads the league in home runs, as Bass misses with a fastball away. Braun's been hot at the plate. 2 for 4 last night, extended his hitting streak to 11 games. Had a double last night.
Just hitting the ball all over the diamond. Just typical Ryan Braun, up to 321. He's been red hot in the month of September.
Now this streak he's on, 11 games in a row, he's hit 452 as a home run, 7 RBIs. There's a strike. Ryan Braun starting play today in the National League, leads in home runs, total bases, slugging percentage, OPS, and extra base hits. Slow roller to third. Headley will make the play for the out. 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Bass. Head to the second. Thornberg back on the mound. A 1-2-3 first inning and 3 strikeouts in the first. What a way to get his day started. Thornberg with 2 called strike threes on curveballs. Shown a good fastball, good curveball already. Has an excellent changeup as well. Just wonder about his command. That's the biggest question coming into this start here today.
That first inning looked pretty good. You just have to, maintain that consistency throughout.
That ball is ripped into right center as Yonder Alonso will send that one to the wall. On his way to second base with a leadoff double. So a leadoff double, the first hit of the ball game after Thornberg struck out the side in the first.
Any sign of nerves, and got to figure that's not the case. Fastball, curveball, fastball for 3 consecutive strikeouts in the first inning. Good start. He fell behind Alonso here in the second. Gave him a fastball and he banged it into right center.
So double number 38 for Alonso. And a jam shot on Marcotte swinging at the first pitch. Easy play for Taylor Green for out number 1. I asked Marcotte to take a few pitches so we could say some nice things about him, but he's up there hacking. So pick you up next time, Cott.
Yeah, talked to Mark outside the Brewers clubhouse door in the service level today, and he's all excited about getting another year with the Padres. The Padres signed him already for next year. And a terrific clubhouse leader, good pinch hitter. We've got to have around a young club.
There are those who feel he is a future big league manager. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Student of the game. He gets it. He understands the game very well. Idiosyncrasies and how to manage people. He just has that presence when you talk to him.
Here's Will Venable, speedy center fielder of the Padres. He's got a little power as well. He's hit 9 home runs. Have to take the Padres power numbers with an asterisk. They play in one of the more pitcher friendly ballparks, and they have had a very cool, damp summer, I am told. So the ball's really not traveling well in San Diego, which makes what Chase Headley's done this year all that much more impressive. There's a fastball right by him, and it's 1-2 on Venable.
Yeah, air very heavy over there in San Diego, Petco Park, right by the ocean. Yeah, it makes it tough. You don't get him down the lines. Good luck to you.
The 1-2. This is upstairs with a fastball. Venable had 3 hits yesterday, and over his last 5 games he's 6 for 14. Venable was 3 for 4 with a run scored and a stolen base in yesterday's opener. A swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Tyler Thornberg.
I'm not sure what that was, but a very defensive swing by Will Venable. Curveball. Didn't do much, kind of spun up there, and it was so bad it was good. Venable, a low ball hitter, couldn't get to that one. Hey, come out to Miller Park for the last game of the season. That's tomorrow as your Brewers host the Padres. Call 414-902-4000 for tickets or go to brewers.com, but you better hurry.
Time's running out. Final game of the season tomorrow. And Giovanni Gallardo, the scheduled starter, but his start in question, according to Ron Renicky. All depends on what happens here tonight. They'd probably rather shut Gallardo down for his last start. So we will know tomorrow when we arrive to the ballpark, or maybe following the game on our Brewers Live postgame.
They figure that the bullpen's going to be heavily involved in this one today. Brewers expecting about 4 innings out of Thornberg tonight, and maybe a little bit more.
0-2 the count. Chris Denorfia the batter, and a bouncing ball to Segura, and a nice scoreless second where Tyler Thornberg picks up his 4th strikeout. college football action on Fox, beginning with the Fox College Saturday pregame show as Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington. They'll get you ready for kickoff, and then the 12th ranked Texas Longhorns look to stay undefeated. Coverage of Fox College football begins Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Travis Ishikawa will lead off for the Brewers. Ishikawa, then Maldonado, and Taylor Green. Most of the regulars are out tonight. Good portion of them anyway. Corey Hart not in the lineup. Aramis Ramirez. Jonathan Lucroy a day off. This organization has a brand new outlook.
It does. Big difference than about 6 weeks ago.
Ishikawa gets sawed off. Little flare. That's trouble. And in and out of the glove of Cabrera. Ishikawa on his way to second. And he's in there.
That'll be a double. I'll tell you, Cabrera went a long way for that baseball. That was a pretty good effort out there. Not sure. Mark Kotze not running all that well these days. Just couldn't get there. He's playing deep. Ball went off the glove of Cabrera, and Ishikawa with good hustle gets into second base. Look how far Cabrera goes for this baseball. Wow. Almost had it.
In and out of the glove. That would have been some kind of catch. Instead, it's a double for Ishikawa. And the first Brewers hit brings up Martin Maldonado. There was a day when you'd have a lineup with 7 rookies, and you'd be a lot disappointed in that, and you wouldn't be sure where the game was headed. But I tell you, all these guys in the lineup can play, and they have been playing for the most part. These guys have been contributing. It's Maldonado in the hole. Cabrera winds it up and has that strong throwing arm, makes the play for the first out.
And that's one of the reasons why the Brewers have had such a strong finish. Young players coming up from the minor leagues, just trying to maybe get some experience. Gene Segura, some of these pitchers, and all of a sudden they were thrust into a playoff push, and they fared very well. A winning season was very important to the Brewers, the entire organization, and why not? So they rolled out the A team yesterday. They got a win. They guaranteed themselves a winning season, and now you get to see some of the younger guys.
And the Padres have a left-handed starter on the mound tomorrow, so you'll see Hart and Ramirez and Lucroy back in there for the final game of the season. Still some milestones the Brewers are chasing. Individual milestones, team milestones. Brewers still leading the league in home runs and stolen bases, although the Padres are closing the gap. They are 1 behind Milwaukee in the stolen base category. Brewers with 154 steals, the Padres 153. But you talk to the players before the game. They were out for batting practice. Everything was normal. Playing it straight up the rest of the way. They don't want to hear about milestones. They're just playing to win. Win as many as you can. Ron Renicky did announce today that his entire coaching staff will be returning for next year. And I think that's a great story for the Brewers and the continuity as they start to move forward with this organization. Mark Atanasio addressed the baseball operations staff before the game today. He addressed the players yesterday and then got together with the coaches and the scouts, all the baseball operations personnel. And by all accounts, very positive, very energetic presentation. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, no surprise that all the coaching staff's coming back. I mean, those are the guys that kept this team focused. Ron Renicky doing a bang-up job as a manager this year. Maybe one of the best jobs at managing in baseball. Not going to win any awards for it, but not an easy task to turn things around from where they were about 6 weeks ago.
From 12 games under 500, the Brewers today 4 games over. Ed Cedar, third base coach. Garth Orge, the first base coach and infield coach. And one of his prized pupils, Garth Orge, right here, Gene Segura. Spending a lot of time with the young shortstop. There was a lot of talk about Segura when he arrived to the Brewers. He had been a second baseman in the Angels system. They converted him to the shortstop position. There was a lot of discussion about Segura and whether he could play shortstop in the big leagues. And I think Garth Orge hit him 5 ground balls his first day in the big leagues, 5 fungos, and he said this kid can play short, no doubt. Pops this one up. Infield fly rule in effect. And there's out number 2. Tonight's Subway Sub Prize on the line is the National League wild card race. The last to be determined. All of the playoff teams are determined. Positioning not yet. With the exception of the St. Louis Cardinals. They still can be caught. It would force a tiebreaker game if the Dodgers win out and the Cardinals lose the next 2. Dodgers are hot right now. They've won 6 in a row. Dodgers will be hosting the Giants tonight.
Yeah, Cardinals scoring some runs lately. Now you know Cincinnati would love to lay a couple of losses on the Cardinals and force the Dodgers' hand, and a lot to play for the Reds as well.
Jeff Bianchi with 2 away and 2 on. Cincinnati and St. Louis are underway at Busch Stadium. And the Cardinals have just taken a 1-0 lead. Still a race for the best record in the National League. The Nationals and the Reds are tied. Nationals hold the tiebreaker in that head-to-head series. The 2 teams that know where they'll be starting. The San Francisco Giants, who will end up as the number 3 seed, the 3rd best division winning record. They'll open at home on Saturday, and the Detroit Tigers, after securing their division, they'll open at home as well in Detroit on Saturday. Yankees and Orioles still duking it out for the American League East. The Amazing A's have kept winning. And they are now just a game back of the Rangers with 2 to play, and they play Texas tonight once again. Who'd have thunk it?
They've caught the Orioles. Same record.
Yep. 2-2. And Bianchi strikes out. Secured at first, and that's that for the Brewers in the 2nd inning. A hit, 2 runners left. No score at Miller Park. keeping our eye on the action in Miami tonight. Great story here. Adam Greenberg, who was hit by a pitch in his only plate appearance in the major leagues back in 2007. He was playing for the Cubs. He was hit in the head by a pitch. He suffered all kind of problems, vertigo, essentially cost him his big league career. Well, the Miami Marlins, the team he was facing that day, offered a one-day contract for Adam Greenberg to give him one at-bat in the big leagues. And that just happened a moment ago. He pinch hit against R.A. Dickey, the potential Cy Young Award winner in the National League, and he struck out. And what a great gesture by the Marlins. They've had a tough year on the PR side, obviously, but that was one of the great moves that they've made all season, and it was a beautiful thing to see him get a big league at bat once again.
Yeah, got to be exciting for Greenberg, and regardless of how it turned out, just to get an at bat in the big leagues. And they showed a shot of him in the dugout, guys high five, and there it is, big smile on his face.
Here's Ozzie Guillen, the Marlins skipper, as Greenberg gets to play. Now, Greenberg's been playing. He has continued his playing career, although not in affiliated baseball and certainly not at the major league level. He was playing for Team Israel at the WBC qualifier. Israel did not make it, but he's had a documentary about his path to the big leagues and that hit that knocked him out and essentially ended his big league career. The Marlins got wind of it and made him the one-day offer. So nice touch.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't mind getting an at bat in the big leagues tomorrow either, if you wouldn't mind.
Go ahead.
Starting that.
As we do a campaign to get you down there. Have Craig Kashan do play-by-play.
I'd be scared to death.
I'd be scared for you.
Get drilled right in the neck. Oh, finally an announcer. All those bad things you say about us, here's one. Wear it.
Talk about that one.
No, that's Bill Schroeder. That's not me.
I've been drilled plenty.
Something you've been able to do, you know, us fans and who never got a chance to play big league baseball. We always say, but just one day in the big leagues, one at bat, one inning. Bouncing ball to Ishikawa, and Thornberg is there for him. Nice play by the slick fielding Brewer first baseman. Good start for Tyler Thornberg here today. 4 strikeouts already. Did give up the leadoff double in the second inning. And now we'll face Anthony Bass, his mound opponent. These two guys don't know each other, but you would think they somehow went to the same pitching coach when they were young players. They both looked up to Tim Lincecum, kind of patterned their style after Lincecum. Thornberg's built a lot like Lincecum. Bass is a little bigger than those two, but they have a similar motion and philosophy in pitching as far as mechanics go.
I'd still love to have that Lincecum changeup. Although Thornberg's working on it. And when you're talking about mechanics, you're talking about, you know, kind of that little arm action going straight down and then bringing that circle around, taking the pressure off the arm.
Nice athletic play. Thornberg is an exceptional fielder. He was a two-way player in college. He was a center fielder. If you want to see something cool on Tyler Thornberg, go to YouTube and Google Tyler Thornberg and Charleston Southern University. Made an amazing catch. Was a YouTube sensation as a center fielder. He pitched and played the outfield in his college days. Out of Sandy Springs, Georgia. Cabrera rips one to right, a base hit.
This will be an important stretch right now for Thornberg. Second time through the batting order. None of these Padres have ever faced Thornberg. It's his first start against the Padres, obviously. Hitters make adjustments, and we'll see how Thornberg fares second time through this batting order.
Well, here's Logan Forsythe now, 2 away in the inning. Second hit allowed by Thornberg.
Another thing to keep an eye on the last couple of games here, the stolen base race that's going on in the National League. The Brewers have 1 stolen base lead on the Padres. 154 to 153. And you know Cabrera is going to want to run.
Cabrera is the league leader in stolen bases. It's a great matchup, though, of a great base stealer who rarely gets caught and a terrific throwing catcher in Martin Maldonado. This could be something to see. Forsythe pops it up. Won't get that chance here in this inning as Logan Schaefer makes a catch, and Tyler Thornberg is through 3 innings of scoreless baseball.
I'm Sophia Minner, and time now to take the pulse of social media. And today's Brewers lineup reading a little bit more like the stars of tomorrow rather than the stars of today, with the exception of Ryan Braun. Today we want to ask you, who would Brewers fans select as your pitcher and player of the year? You can tweet us at FS Wisconsin with the hashtag award season. BA and Rock will be back on the 7th with what the fans think.
All right, that's a good one. Your pitcher and player of the year. Got a good chance to be a Braun-Gallardo combination, but
you would think maybe there's a dark horse in there somewhere. But anxious to hear what the fans think.
Yeah, give us your reason why too in your 140 characters. You can use shorthand. Sophia's really good about reading that. She has to deal with Rock's tweets all day long.
Yeah, 2 letters at a time. Yeah, I try and punch those letters in.
Yes,
my hands are too big for those little keys.
I saw you wrestling with the BlackBerry over there.
Yeah. Not easy.
2-2 to Thornberg, and he lifts one high in the air, a pop-up to the shortstop Cabrera.
Sometimes smaller is not necessarily better.
He'd lose it.
Easy to carry around, not so easy to type with.
Probably in your heyday when the when the original cell phones came out, those big tank-looking phones that had the antenna,
like those Army walkie-talkies.
Yeah, that was. I bet that was nice.
I had one of those for a long time.
Bet you did.
I did. Rob Deere used to get on me pretty good.
Where'd you store that item, Rock?
You can't store that. You got to carry that around. It's like in a backpack.
You didn't have the belt adapter?
I broke that thing out one time in Arizona. You should have seen Rob Deere.
Nori Aoki pulls one foul. I'm proud of you, though, partner. I mean, you've taken a bold step this year on the technology, social media front.
Yeah. I'm willing to take a chance.
It's worked out nicely for you.
I like it. I have enjoyed it.
Aoki drops a bunt down. It's a good one. Headley's throw is not in time. A base hit for Nori Aoki.
That's a heck of a play by Chase Headley. 10 errors on the season for Headley, showing pretty good agility, grabbing that baseball barehanded and making a good throw to first. And Nori Aoki with yet another infield hit. Had a couple yesterday. Nice bunt right down the line. Look at Headley. I thought it was pretty close. Bang, bang, and Aoki got the benefit of the call.
He liked it. We'll see if Aoki is on the move here with a runner at first and 1 out. Logan Schaefer, the batter. One of the reasons Renicky wanted Schaefer in the lineup hitting second was for this type of moment right here with a base stealer in Aoki, left-handed batter at the plate. Schaefer's a good hitter, and he's a good low ball hitter. And when I mean low, I don't even mean low in the strike zone. He's a guy who can barrel up off the shoe tops. He's done that a few times this season.
Yeah. Well, just like a lot of left-handed hitters, they like the ball down, particularly down and in. But Schaefer, we've seen here in September, able to slice that ball to the left. He can pull it to right. I would imagine not much of a book on him quite yet.
Schaefer's done a nice job at the plate this year. He's 7 for 21 in the big leagues. 5 RBIs. There goes Aoki. Throw to second. Not a chance. Number 30 for Nori Aoki. Speaking of milestones, he joins Braun and Gomez in the 30 stolen base club this year.
Well, now the Brewers with a 2 stolen base lead over the Padres. A decent lead, a good jump, and Baker a little bit slow on the release. Taking a little bit too long with it, and Aoki steals it easily.
And he loves to steal third base. We'll see if he takes off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Schaefer. Like a changeup in there for a strike. 1 and 2.
Basically fastball, slider, changeup for Bass.
Anthony Bass. Been a while since he has appeared as a starter. He made a start against the Texas Rangers on June 20th. Held that heavy hitting lineup down for 5 innings, just 1 run. Took a no decision in that game.
Yeah, spent some time on the disabled list.
Logan Schaefer rung up a called strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Bass. Schaefer is out, and that will set up Ryan Braun with 2 away. Will this be an MVP year for Ryan Braun? Lester Posey appears to be the favorite among the writers who have posted their votes, or at least the discussion of their votes. Can Ryan Braun actually get better than he is right now? Ron in Green Bay. That's in our Carsoup.com email the booth question.
Well, he has every year so far. I can't imagine what aspect of the game that he can be much better. I mean, you know, the numbers perhaps, you know, can go up as far as the stolen bases. I mean, how much better can he get with the RBIs, the home runs, the batting average? You know, Braun's like to steal 40 bases. He's been battling some small minor injuries, and he's still been able to put up the numbers.
Well, if there was a higher league than the major leagues, he'd be in it. He's one of the premier hitters in the game as he swings and misses. 0-2 the count.
It's just a matter of Ryan Braun being able to stay healthy. That's the thing. If he's able to stay healthy, he can. I think he can do whatever he puts his mind to.
Yeah, look at the consistency for Braun. He's had 5 straight 100 RBI seasons, and remember, 07 was his rookie year. He drove in 97 that year, but he was in the minor leagues until late May. So his numbers actually better than they were in his MVP season. This is his 152nd game played.
Remember going into spring training, everybody concerned about how Braun would do without Prince Fielder? I guess he's answered that question. Ramis Ramirez has provided some pretty good protection for him after, about mid-May.
One and two to Braun. Count goes to 2-2.
I think if Ryan Braun decided he didn't want to hit many home runs, I think he could push 400 if he really wanted to. Give up some power. I mean, he's that good a hitter. I mean, he's that good at covering the plate and making contact if he wants.
Well, Braun and Ramirez making up the top run producing tandem, and they've worked very well off each other. I think that was the major question, how Ryan Braun would fare this year without the protection of the big left-handed slugger, Prince Fielder. And Ramirez has had a great year, although he got off to a slow start. Haven't seen the walks that we thought we would. It figured to be a season where Braun would walk a lot, especially in the intentional walk category, but that really hasn't manifested itself. Full count pitch, and it's down low for ball 4.
Speaking of walks,
we talked to Aramis Ramirez before the game. We asked him about being in the same lineup with Ryan Braun.
I always knew he was a pretty good player, playing against him for a few years. But now that I'm with him, he's the best player I ever played with. I mean, he's a whole package, offensively, defensively. He can do it all. He can steal a base, hit for power, average. And you don't find those guys. And, he's a great guy in the clubhouse, too.
Well, there you go. Coming from a guy that's been around, he's seen some things, and a guy that's not bad in his own right.
That's pretty high praise. The best player he's ever played with, Ramirez said. And he's played with some good ones. Started his career with the Pirates as a 19-year-old. And then 9 years with the Cubs, his first year as a Brewer. Two on, two out for Ishikawa.
I guess my question would be to Aramis, who's the guy that he played with that came close to Ryan Braun? Maybe Derek Lee?
Yeah, you wonder. Maybe Soriano's first year in Chicago.
Right.
Alfonso Soriano.
Well, they come around once in a long, long time, once in a while.
We'll see Ramirez back in the lineup tomorrow, he said, for the finale. Ishikawa takes low. 3 balls and no strikes. Ishikawa's come up with some big hits off the bench. Did a nice job filling in for Corey Hart. Originally Matt Gamble, when Gamble went on the DL, had the green light, 3-0 as he fouls it away. I like the number for Ishikawa in games that he starts. Okay, 26 starts. This is number 26. In the 25 previous starts, he's hitting .274. 4 homers, 18 RBIs. Taking advantage of his opportunities. Spent a little time on the DL this year. Had an oblique strain. Missed about a month. Late May and early June. Full count with 2 on and 2 out. Runners go, and Ishikawa spins out of there. Ball 4. Bases loaded.
3 walks now for Bass. Anthony Bass, and trying to come inside, just not able to do it. Came inside on Schaefer, he was able to catch the corner, but didn't do it with Ishikawa.
Well, like Thornberg, it's going to be a short start for Anthony Bass. The fact that he hasn't started a game since late June. Miles Nicholas is down the bullpen for the Padres. He's been a starter. He can give him Some length out of that bullpen. Darren Bosley, a quick trip to the mound. And now we're set to go here with the bases loaded and Maldonado coming up. Big spot for Maldonado. Trying to cash in on some RBIs with one swing of the bat. A .266 hitter, has 7 homers. It's been a while since Maldonado went deep. He's not known as a home run hitter. He was on a pretty good pace when he was first called up. He has not homered since August 14th.
And they come in bunches. You know, the league learned you a little bit. Came up and set the world on fire with the long ball. Got off to a great start, but the league makes adjustments on you, and they figure out some of your weaknesses, and they will exploit it until you are able to cover it.
2 balls and a strike. No score. The Brewers threatening. And strike 2. Maldonado even in the count now.
Pitch, a little wrinkle on it. 83 miles an hour. It took a little bit off.
And the 2-2. And Maldonado sends one high and deep. And a grand slam home run for Martin Maldonado. The first of his career.
Nice job, by the way.
First time since August. It's been nearly 2 months. Boy, that one had to feel good as Maldonado with his first career grand slam, giving the Brewers a 4-0 lead.
Fastball right down the middle, and Maldonado did not miss it. Boy, a 2-2 fastball that split home plate right in half. He was waiting for it.
So his teammates happy for him in that dugout. A great scene.
7 grand slams now for the Brewers.
Taylor Green, a roller out to second base, and there is the final out, but not before Martin Maldonado goes deep. The best kind. A grand slam home run.
Tyler Thornberg off to a great start. Struck out the side in the first inning. He's got 4 altogether. He's only allowed a couple of base hits. No runs. The curveball's been working for him pretty well. And all the runs on the board courtesy of a Martin Maldonado grand slam home run. His 8th home run of the year. The 7th grand slam hit by the Brewers. And the Brewers hold a 4-0 lead as we head to the 4th.
Measured at 444 feet. 8th home run of the season, gives him 30 ribbies now. And now Tyler Thornberg sniffing a victory. They hope to get 4 out of him, but he needs to get through 5 to qualify for a victory, as Chase Headley leads off with a single. Headley was just named the National League Player of the Month in September. He's won that award the last 2 months of the season.
And he's handled the curveball pretty well in this series. Brewers have been able to get fastballs by him. Thornberg struck him out of the curveball his last time up. And I left that one up in the strike zone.
Leadoff base runner for San Diego. They had a lead man on in the 2nd inning with a double. Thornberg pitched out of it. Yonder Alonso. Padres are pretty excited about their future as well. They feel like they've really stocked up with young players. They made a couple of trades. And the big trade was sending Matt Latos to Cincinnati, essentially trading away their ace to bolster up their prospect watch. And those prospects have emerged in the big leagues and turned into good players. One of them right here, Yonder Alonso. Their switch hitting catcher, Yasmani Grandal, in that deal.
And they've got a chance to be good, real soon. I mean, but problem is, it's all going to come down to pitching for the Padres because of the ballpark that they play in. You're not going to get many homers.
Little tapper. Thornberg checks on second. He'll take the sure out. And the first out here in the 4th inning as Headley advances.
Yeah, good idea by Thornberg. Got a 4-0 lead. You don't want to be messing around trying to get the lead runner. Takes the shore out.
Time now for our AT&T trivia question tonight. Who was the last switch hitter to win a league RBI title? That's a good question. Switch hitter to lead the league in RBI.
That's a good one.
The dying art of switch hitting.
Was it a Padre? Guy I'm thinking of?
Not a bad guess. If I'm thinking of who you're thinking, who I'm thinking. Marcotte with the runner at second, and that one misses away.
I'm not sure if he ever won an RBI title, though. He was a good one.
Now the Padres under new ownership, and a group that has been in baseball many years and it was out as Katse sends that one high and deep center field. Playable for Schaefer. A long loud out. Headley's going to tag and make it to third base. 2 outs in the inning.
Katse just missed that one. Just got under it enough to keep it in the ballpark with a good swing.
Part of the Padres purchasing group, Peter O'Malley, longtime owner of the Dodgers, took over the team from his father, Walter O'Malley. And it was Walter O'Malley who saw over 2 million fans coming through the turnstiles in Milwaukee in the 50s. There's a broken bat, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Venable on the first pitch drives in a run on a broken bat single. And it's 4-1 Milwaukee. Now Walter O'Malley saw what was happening in Milwaukee in the 50s and said, if they can draw 2 million fans in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, imagine what we could draw in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but they've never looked back, have they?
Moved the Brooklyn Dodgers to Los Angeles. So Brewtown has its place in that movement, and the Dodgers needed a partner to go with them. San Francisco Giants went with them, 58. The New York Giants leaving the borough for San Francisco. And the O'Malleys are back in baseball once again, which is a great thing. It was a terrific family-run operation. They called it the Dodger Way. Ron Renicke's part of that Dodger Way. And you wonder what kind of culture they'll be trying to create in San Diego now. Ground ball, a hot one right to Green. He'll go the easy way for the out. And Thornberg, 51 pitches, is through 4 innings. Wonder if they'll let him have another one. Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine.
It's the Brewers with a 4-1 lead over the Padres here at Miller Park. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Telly Hughes, and I'm pleased to be joined by Ben Rouse, who has been with the Brewers literally every step of the way. Game 161. He has attended all 161 games, part of his Mission 162. And for those who don't know about Mission 162, Ben, tell everyone what it's about and what you channeled all those efforts towards.
I mean, it just goes back a few years. I thought it would be awesome to hit up all 162 games, and I decided on 2012. Started planning last September, and I made it. I've been in the park for every single pitch of every single game so far, and it's definitely been a blast. But I mean, the backstory, I was diagnosed with leukemia, got a bone marrow transplant, so I figured if I'm going to be going to all these games, I might as well raise awareness for something that, saved my life and maybe help some other people out. And that's what Be the Match. It's the National Bone Marrow Donor Registry.
Well, you've had an opportunity to visit every National League ballpark. I won't ask you what's your favorite one. You said that's the question you get asked the most. But what's been the biggest highlight so far?
I mean, just that recent surge, winning 24 of 30 games, after there was a stretch where I think they lost 14 of 15 on the road. And, I drove back from Philadelphia 15 hours to get to a game the next day. And, that was a little brutal, but, being able to win 24 of 30 games and kind of kept my spirits up and made this a season to remember, even though they fell short of the playoffs.
Well, tonight it has to go up there towards the top. You threw out the first pitch, threw it to Ryan Braun, and had a little sizzle on it, too.
Yeah, I'd been warming up in the parking lot, so I didn't come in cold. But, that was definitely, special that he was able to catch. I met his dad in San Diego and then got to sit with him and Ryan's mom in Los Angeles earlier in the year. And, we've kind of texted back and forth throughout the year, so that's definitely something to remember.
Well, thanks for your time, and you got one more to go, right?
Yep, one more game.
All right, there's Ben Rouse. And, Brian, this has been a great night for him because earlier his girlfriend caught a foul ball. So there you have it. It goes full circle. Let's send it back up to you.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Ben Rouse, and it's an honor to be able to raise awareness for his foundation and his cause, and Be the Match has done a very good job this year, and we wish him the best. He's in remission and hope he stays that way, and You got to give him a lot of credit for toughing it out. I mean, he's not on the charters and the 5-star hotels like the players, but he's been at every game. And we saw him throw out the first pitch with Miami, I believe it was. They caught wind of his story, and they immediately asked him to come out and throw out the first pitch. He's an inspiring guy.
Driving all the way back from Philadelphia to Milwaukee for a game. That's tough duty.
The Yankee skies one into right field for out number 2.
Now, where was Ben when his girlfriend actually caught the foul ball?
He was underneath the chair. He was ducking underneath. Because now he's got a Ryan Braun signed baseball. Now Brandon Kinsler is loosening, and looks like Tyler Thornberg is done for the day.
Nice job by Thornberg. Wow.
Had to be tempting for Renicky to let him stay out there and try to pick up his first win, but too much riding on the line with this valuable young arm, and he really hasn't pitched all that much.
And one relief appearance, 1 inning on September 22nd in the month of September in the big leagues.
So Eric Ferris will pinch hit for Tyler Thornberg.
Nicholas got a nice curveball. Good pitch he threw to Ferris there. Spent the year in Double-A and Triple-A for the Padres.
Pitching exclusively out of the bullpen. And the Padres upper levels of their minor league system. He was in San Antonio to start the year, and then Tucson. The San Antonio Missions, my old stomping grounds in the Texas League. Swing and a miss. Ferris strikes out. Good inning for Mikolas. We head to the 5th. 4-1 Brewers.
Well, 4-1 Brewers as we head to the top of the 5th inning. And tonight's time of the game winner, Haverland's Bar in Potosi, Wisconsin. That's up there by Platteville, if you didn't know where Potosi was. You knew that, though. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to an April or May Brewers home game next year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Well, the best seats, prices, perks, and the best of Brewers baseball. It's all yours with a season ticket package. For more information, call 414-902-HITS. Brewers are going to have a 2-game exhibition series at Miller Park next year to start the season. And they'll start on a homestand. White Sox are coming in for that 2-game exhibition. As you see, Brandon Kinsler, they'll take over for Tyler Thornberg. Nice job by Thornberg today. Ron Renicky said he'd be ecstatic with 4 innings, and he got it.
Well, I guess he's ecstatic. And Brandon Kinsler, last pitched on Sunday against the Astros, got hit around a little bit, an inning and 2/3. He gave up 3 hits, a couple of runs. He's been unscored upon in 9 of his 12 appearances this year with the Brewers.
John Baker leads off for San Diego. Well, the fact that Thornberg was able to give the Brewers 4 innings, and now you can get into your relievers, I'm sure that means Gallardo will not pitch tomorrow. I think that was the big question mark. Might see Josh Stinson tomorrow for the Brewers, another young hurler that the Brewers are very high on. Jam shot grounder over to second base. Bianchi makes the play for out number 1. Take us through Thornberg's day today, Rock. It is our Pizza Hut delivery of the game.
Yeah, looked pretty relaxed out there. I mean, struck out the side in the first inning, showed a pretty good curveball. He stranded a leadoff double in the second. Alonso with a double to lead off the second. He got 3 consecutive outs. He allowed the 1 run, a Chase Headley single that led off the 4th, and a broken bat by Venable. The only blemish on his line. Looked pretty good. Certainly going to finish his season on a high note. Always want to finish strong.
Miles Mikolas, the Padres pitcher, getting an at-bat in this 5th inning. Kinsler for the second out. 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, and Everett Cabrera. Reds have just scored on the Cardinals. That game's all tied at 1 apiece. Top of the 4th inning. St. Louis needs a win or a Dodger loss to secure a second wild card spot. They'll at least have a playoff for it. The Cardinals lose today and tomorrow, and the Dodgers win tonight and tomorrow. Then they'll have a 1-game playoff on Thursday in Los Angeles to determine who will play in the wild card game in Atlanta on Friday. Setting up a possible 3 games over 4 days in 3 cities just to get your postseason started.
Yeah, good luck to you, right? Making it a little bit more difficult for the wild card team to get through the playoffs.
Cabrera drops a bunt down. That's foul. Dodgers play later tonight. They have Chris Capuano on the mound against Barry Zito for the Giants. Zito trying to pitch his way into the postseason rotation. By the way, if the Reds lose and the Nationals win tonight, the Nationals clinch the best overall record in the National League, so they would play the wild card team. It's amazing that we're this late into the season with just 2 days left and so much uncertainty still. We know who the playoff teams will be. We just don't know who's going to win divisions and who's going to be in the wild card.
I'll tell you what, it's not going to be any picnic for whoever it has to go into San Francisco. First 2 games of that playoff series. Not much of an advantage for the home field, is it?
Well, you know you'll get Kane.
Kane, Bumgarner, and I'll tell you, it's not going to be easy going to San Francisco for 2.
And a base hit for Cabrera. So the speedy shortstop is aboard for the 2nd time. Take a look at our 2 starters tonight. Our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Bass topping out at 95, as was Thornberg with his fastball.
Brewers has some very promising young arms in that starting rotation, don't they? They've all looked pretty good.
So now we'll keep an eye on Cabrera, the league leader in stolen bases. Kinsler freezing him for a moment. Deals strike 1. Everett Cabrera had a couple of stolen bases yesterday, and he stole 4 on Sunday in that final game of the Giants series. Maldonado with a great arm. You love these kind of matchups. Go inside the game a little bit. Catcher who loves to throw. Got a pitcher who holds runners well. Speedy base runner.
It's just a matter of whether Kinsler is going to be able to hold him close.
And meanwhile, Logan Forsythe, who is being patient to allow Cabrera to run, is now in an 0-2 count.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The life of a number 2 hitter. It's all gravy when you hit in front of a hitter like Headley. You do see a lot of fastballs and a lot of strikes, but game changes a little bit when a base stealer is on in front of you. Kinsler with that excellent sinking fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. And Maldonado, just for the fun of it, to get his arm loose.
Yeah, just trying to keep him close. Very strong, accurate arm for Martin Maldonado. And base runners have to be very careful. Get off too far, he'll pick you off. He's got a few this year.
Ball and 2 strikes. Ooh, looked like he wanted to go. Close play. Cabrera had a little nudge towards second.
Yeah, he's going to call time and regroup. He thought he was out. He was leaning towards second. Kinsler with a nice spin move almost caught him. There it is. You saw that false step. He thought he was out. That's a good job by Cabrera to tag the outfield side of the base.
Oh, got him. Got him. And Ishikawa just able to run him down. A caught stealing as Kinsler doubled up on the pickoffs. Inning over. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, our great crew here at Miller Park, led in the truck by Chris Withers and Kevin Shank. And this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Brewers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Miles Mikolas back on the mound. Nori Aoki leads off. Brewers lead 4-1. A grand slam by Martin Maldonado. Came with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 3rd inning. Maldonado hit it 444 feet into deep left center. His 8th home run of the year. Now 30 RBIs.
'87 RBIs between the two catchers and 20 home runs.
Nice. That's a good year for a catcher.
And that doesn't include, as you like to remind everybody, that George Kottaras did a nice job before he was traded.
If you haven't been following George Kottaras, he was traded to the A's. They're just looking for a body to catch at the time. They started to push their way into the pennant race. They had a great month of June, and Kottaras was traded away. And he's become a big-time run producer for the A's. He's hit some huge home runs for Oakland. He's in a platoon right now with Derek Norris, and that team has a chance to not just make it to the postseason, which they're guaranteed to do. They have a chance to win the division. Playing the Rangers tonight, 1 game back of Texas. About a third of the payroll as Aoki slaps one to left, right to Katse for the out.
And Kottaras took Zach Greinke deep this year. How about that? Ron Renicky thought a lot of George Kottaras, that's for sure. Just a numbers game, and wanted to get Maldonado and Lucroy were going to be the 2 guys, and George was the odd man out.
Thought so much of him that he and Doug Melvin and Gordash, they called around. They wanted to make sure Kottaras had a place to play. I mean, they wanted to trade him to a team that wanted him, and they actually did a lot of legwork to make sure Kottaras had a place to go continue his big league career. Not only has he continued it, but he's flourished in that role. Schaefer into center field, a little bit off the end of the bat for the second out. Schaefer is 0 for 3. And here comes Ryan Braun. He's had that kind of year. It's going to be a close race. I think it's down to Ryan Braun and Buster Posey at this point. Posey might be having one of the great offensive seasons from anyone at the catching position, whose position is primarily catcher, although he's played a little first base this year. Rock, you caught the big leagues, and you know how hard it is to maintain a high batting average. Hitting in the middle of the Giants' order, Posey could win a batting title this year.
Yeah, that catcher spot, that's not easy. You get beat up behind home plate, foul tips off the hands, the wrists, the shoulders, and that affects the way you swing the bat. So, guys like Joe Mauer and Posey that year after year hit over 300, and a lot of respect for those guys.
Mauer won 3 batting titles. One and 2 to Braun. Chopper to the right side. And that's it for the Brewers in the 5th. 4-1 Milwaukee. To the 6th inning we go. the big blow, the grand slam by Martin Maldonado, giving the Brewers a 4-0 lead at the time. It's now 4-1. Padres scored a run in the 4th inning. We go to the 6th. Brandon Kintzler back out for his 2nd inning. And Logan Forsythe will lead off, take strike 1. Well, a thriller just ended in St. Petersburg tonight. The Baltimore Orioles win 1-0 over Tampa Bay. Each club with 2 hits in that game.
Yeah.
James Shields went the distance and lost 1-0. Chris Davis hit a home run, the only run of the game, and look at the Orioles. They are within a half a game of the Yankees, who are trailing the Red Sox in the 8th inning, 2-1. Yankees lose. That is a first-place tie with 1 to play tomorrow in the
that's something else.
American League East.
How about those Orioles? Buck Showalter, what a job he's done.
It's going to be a tight race between Buck Showalter and Bob Melvin for American League Manager of the Year. Kintzler with a ball and 2 strikes on Forsythe. He was at the plate when Cabrera was caught stealing. And down he goes. Kintzler strikes him out. Good breaking ball. And for the Brewers, that is their 5th team strikeout. Kintzler with his 1st. AT&T trivia question. We were looking for the last switch hitter to win a league RBI title. If you said Mark Teixeira, you would be correct. Lance Berkman on that list as well. Teixeira did it in 2009. Now a Yankee. Kintzler's done. Probably finishes off his season. After he goes an inning and a 3rd. Here comes Manny Parra. 4-1 Brewers. Take a break. For the Brewers, and he'll match up against the Padres' best hitter, the switch hitter Chase Headley.
And then 3 scheduled lefties behind him. His 62nd appearance for Parra, ERA at about 4 3/4. More strikeouts than innings pitched, but the walks have been a problem for Manny this year. Last pitched on Sunday against the Astros. 2/3 scoreless.
And Headley, as you saw in our trivia question, trying to become the first switch hitter since Teixeira in 09 to lead the league in ribbies. That's a little flare that's going to fall, a base hit. And Headley with 2 hits. 2 for 3 tonight. He scored the lone Padre run in the 4th. That year Teixeira won the batting, rather the RBI title in the American League 09. That was the year the Yankees won the World Series. Teixeira's been a little hobbled as a calf injury he's trying to play through. So the lefty's coming up. Yonder Alonso starts it. Then Katse, then Venable. With a man on, 1 out. 4-1 Brewers on a Maldonado grand slam.
And Padres has some pretty good bats on their bench. They got Maben, they got Carlos Quinton, Grandal, the catcher. He's a switch hitter. And nobody loosening in that Brewers bullpen.
Alonso doubled to start the second inning. Tyler Thornberg started tonight. He pitched well. A nice game. 4 innings. Gave up just 1 earned run. They were trying to cap Thornberg at 50 pitches. He ended up throwing 51. The fact that he hasn't started a game in a month. So no chance to win this game for Thornberg. Kinsler was effective for an inning and a third. As Parra walks Yonder Alonso. Just like that, the tying run is coming up. Now the Packers have taken a roller coaster path to a 2-2 record. So what does that record really mean? Paul Emmig's analysis is up right now on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. A lot of football to be played yet.
Yeah, been some wild finishes this year already.
Parra's going to face Jesus Guzman. Katse take it out. And the tying run at the plate. Guzman has 9 home runs. 4-1 Brewers. Parra looking for the ground ball to turn 2. The thing about Parra, you always have to concern yourself with the wild pitch as well. He throws a lot of them with that split finger fastball.
There's one.
Maldonado, nice block. Keeps a double play intact.
And just spiked that one right down in the dirt. Oh, Manny having a tough time throwing strikes.
That look tells it all from Rick Kranitz. Parra has been an enigma this season. He has shown moments of brilliance and not so much at other times.
And the only lefty out there in that Brewers pen.
There's a base hit to right. So this is going to bring in a run. It's an RBI single, a pinch hit single, and it's 4-2.
And just most of the damage against Manny Parra is the fastball, and normally when he's behind in the count. And then throw a quality fastball more than any other pitcher on this Brewers pitching staff. Has to stay away from the fastball. Not a bad one down and away, but Guzman able to dump it in the right. And now the Brewers with a 2-run lead.
Could be Parra's last hitter as Will Venable is up. He drove in the first run on a broken bat single. Buckled his knees. Strike 1 to Venable. Venable's a tough guy to double up if you're thinking about 2. Runs well. Oh, 2.
This is where that split-fingered fastball is very effective. Keep it down in the dirt. This is where you want to throw it out of the strike zone. 0-2, maybe throw a couple.
Thornberg started, went 4 innings. Brandon Kinsler goes an inning and a third. The run is in on Parra. And the 2 out there, his responsibility. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 man out in the 6th. Padres have out-hit the Brewers 7-3. But the grand slam by Maldonado cashed in 4 with 1 swing of the bat. 0-2 pitch. 1-2 now. Want to say hello to the Arrowhead High School marching band. They're here at the ballpark tonight. Got a big group. I don't think they brought their instruments though.
I don't hear them.
Haven't heard them.
No, don't hear them. Can he get into the ballpark with a tuba?
I think it might work. Might be okay. Bob Uecker used to catch fly balls in the outfield with a tuba. As Parra hits Venable on a 1-2 pitch, and the bases are loaded.
No, didn't do very well. A switch hitter, then 3 lefties all reached. Manny Parra not able to get him out, and the bases are loaded. Rough outing for Manny.
So Parra exits with a run in and the bases full. And perhaps his final outing of 2012. Here comes Cameron Lowe. Padres threatening. Parra, and he pulls the plug after Parra faces 4 batters, gives up 2 hits, a walk, and a hit batter. And now the Brewers' lead is in jeopardy here. It is 4-2 Milwaukee. Cameron Lowe on the pitch with the bases loaded and 1 out. He's sinker ball specialist.
Yeah, needs a ground ball. He's got that sinker working. He gets the ground balls, and Manny Parra needs to get those left-handers out. That's for sure. Not able to get a single one.
Alonso, Guzman, and Venable on the bases. Venable the fastest of the bunch over at first. And here is Chris Denorfia. Typically a contact hitter. He's hit 2 on the ground today. Grounded out to short in the 2nd inning and then bounced out to 3rd base in the 4th. How about those numbers in his career? A .478 hitter with the bases loaded. .42 Brew Crew. And a bouncer. Lowe's got it. Coming to the plate. Oh, wow. Almost threw it away. Maldonado had to put the tag on him.
Oh, nice play by Maldonado. That's why you have to be on the balls of your feet. You can't assume a good throw. And Maldonado able to eliminate danger there. Disaster. That would have been a disaster. That ball going to the screen. Yeah, good throw. That's a double play. Look at this. Maldonado doing the right thing. Makes the tag and could have been a double play. Wow.
That was all set up for a 1-2-3 double play. Lowe's had some trouble throwing to bases. It's amazing that he can, be a pitcher, a major league pitcher, throw strikes.
Thinks too much about it. That's what happens. You just kind of guide the ball, and it never works out well.
They call it the thing. Yasmani Grandal, switch hitting catcher, will pinch hit for Baker. 2 outs in the inning now. Grandal with 8 home runs and 35 driven in. He had a couple of hits last night. Drove in a run. Excellent rookie catcher for the Padres. 0-2 the count.
Got a good idea up the plate too. We saw that last night. A couple of hits, one to center, one to left. Drew a walk. Looks patient at the plate. Tough guy in these situations.
That's Guzman over third. He drove in the second run. Venable at second. DeNorfie at first. 0-2 pitch. Broken bat. What a play by Green. Throw to first is late. A run scores, but he saves another one. The tying run from scoring. Fully stretched out. Taylor Green with an excellent play. Wow.
And not a bad pitch by Cameron Lowe. Grandal gets eaten up inside. And they played him off the line. And a nice play by Green to take away the extra base hit. That might have scored 3.
Still 2 outs. A run is in on an infield hit and an RBI. Rick Kranitz is out for a scouting report. The Padres have announced their pinch hitter, Carlos Quentin.
And Bud Black's emptying his bench in this inning. Not quite emptying his bench, but a lot of his big boppers in the game in this inning, in the 6th.
His third pinch hitter. His first 2 pinch hitters have produced RBI hits. Carlos Quentin. 2 outs, 4-3 Brewers. 2 runs in. Those runs will belong to Parra. Base is still loaded. And a swing and a miss. Breaking ball from Cameron Lowe, the right call. Quentin was ready to swing.
He's trying to attack that first pitch fastball, and good numbers for Carlos Quentin. He's got 4 salamis in his career.
It's a grand slam tonight by the Brewers that has him still in the lead at this point for now. Martin Maldonado in the 3rd inning. One and 2 on Quentin. He's got a lot of power. 16 home runs in just 283 at bats this year. It's a lot of home runs per at bat. Figure an everyday player gets about 550, 600 at bats in a season, especially in that ballpark. A threat. 1 and 2. Bouncing ball to Green, fair, steps on the bag to end the inning. So Cameron Lowe able to get out of it with the Brewers still in the lead. 4-3. Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. Well, the Padres score a pair in the 6th inning, but cannot take the lead. The Brewers lead at 4-3. Guzman had an RBI single. He'll stay in the game to play left field. Yasmani Grandal will continue in the game as the catcher. Great play by Taylor Green preserves the Brewers lead for now. Brad Brock in the pitch for San Diego.
Yeah, pretty good numbers for Brock out of the bullpen. 67th appearance at 384 earned run average. His first major league win came back on August 10th against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. He pitched 2 innings. He leads all Padres relievers with 75 punch-outs. He's had a nice year. He's a rookie.
Travis Ishikawa will lead off against Brock. 4-3 Brewers. The Padres have out-hit Milwaukee 8-3 at this point. Ishikawa doubled in the 2nd inning, and then he walked and scored his last time up. He was on base, drew a 2-out walk, setting up Maldonado's grand slam. And a ball and 2 strikes on Ishikawa. Travis from the East Bay, Northern California, and was the Giants' opening day starter at first base in 2010. Eventually lost his job. That was the year Aubrey Huff came out of nowhere to be such a force for the Giants. Giants won the World Series that season. Ishikawa was part of that club. He was up and down that season. As he strikes out. Or did he foul it away? Ishikawa says he fouled it away, and now
Alan Porter, third base umpire, telling Jim Reynolds ball hit the dirt.
Did it hit the dirt because of a foul ball? Bud Black wants an explanation.
Foul ball, it hit the dirt and into Grandal's glove. Alan Porter adamant about it, but Black not understanding the explanation.
Yeah, Porter's just saying it hit the dirt. Yeah, it looked like he fouled it. The ball changed direction.
Ishikawa way out in front of this pitch, and sounded like he got a piece of it.
Got to umpire with your ears as much as your eyes. Fly ball to left. Guzman just in the game, makes the play for the first out. Ishikawa retired. And here comes Martin Maldonado. Checking the Powerball home run count. A grand slam for Maldonado. 444 feet they measured it. Number 8 for Maldonado.
And making 3 hits count tonight. 2 of them in the third. Of course, the Brewers were helped by a couple of walks in that third inning.
There's a strike to Maldonado. His grand slam came with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Braun and Ishikawa both walked with 2 outs. Setting the stage for Maldonado. Hits that one sharply right at Cabrera. 2 outs. Well, the Orioles won tonight. They beat Tampa Bay 1-0 in St. Pete. And the Red Sox had the Yankees down 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th. But Raul Ibanez has just homered to tie it.
Yeah.
Ibanez had a big 9th inning home run against Oakland a few weeks back. Taylor Green bounces one foul. Yankees about ready to embark on a Mariano Rivera free bullpen as they go into the postseason for the first time in a long time.
That's going to make a big difference.
Even though Soriano's had a great year closing games.
And not in the playoffs. It's a different animal altogether.
The best there has ever been closing games in the postseason, Mariano Rivera. And the all-time saves leader. He surpassed Trevor Hoffman. Those two are the only 2 in the 600 save club. Say hello to Trevor. He's probably watching tonight. Working in the Padres front office. Kind of picks and chooses his schedule as he sees fit.
Yeah, he's an independent contractor over there.
Right.
You know, he doesn't have to show up every day. So always good to see him, though, when you go to San Diego.
Trevor could spend the rest of his life as a motivational speaker and do just fine. He always inspires us when he comes on the air. Longtime Padre. They retired his number last year.
His brother, third base coach for the Padres. Glenn Hoffman. Not as famous as his brother, but he was a big leaguer.
Used to not be that way. Glenn's much older than Trevor and was in the big leagues. Trevor always wanted to be like his older brother. That changed after Hoffman's career took a memorable turn. Trevor was a shortstop as a minor league player and then switched to the mound. Little flare by Green. Long run Guzman. That is foul.
Yeah, Glenn Hoffman and I were teammates with the Angels.
Speaking of the Dodger way, Glenn Hoffman, Ron Renicky are good friends.
He's been in the big leagues a long time.
Managed the Dodgers.
Right. Been a coach forever.
Good man. Both the Hoffmans. Great guys. Green into left field. And that will do it for the Brewers in the 6th. On our way to the 7th at Miller Park, the Brewers have the lead 4-3. Toyota, Martin Maldonado with a grand slam, giving the Brewers a 4-0 lead. That was with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 3rd inning. Will Venable had a broken bat single to drive in a run in the 4th, and then the Padres scoring 2 more. Jesus Guzman, a pinch hit RBI single. Look at this play by Green. And that play, although it did lead to a run, has allowed the Brewers to keep their lead at this point. The play of the day for the Brewers today, Taylor Green. Jim Henderson is on to pitch as we go to the 7th. 4-3 Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, good into the 7th with a lead lately, and the Brewers are pretty comfortable with Henderson, K-Rod, and John Axford. That was a good combination last night. 35th appearance for Henderson. Gave up a run in yesterday's ball game, but has been outstanding since being called up. At the top of the Padres order.
Everett Cabrera will lead off. Logan Forsythe and Chase Headley to follow. Padres bullpen has shut the Brewers down the last 3 innings. 9 up, 9 down. It's Cabrera. That's a strike. I'm not sure if it was called on the location of the pitch or Cabrera just couldn't pull the bat back in time. Either way, it's 0-1.
Well, it must have been called on the swing and the attempt because the ball looked like it was off the plate.
Fox Tracks had it outside. Now it's 0-2.
And Fox Tracks is never wrong.
Never wrong. It's the same system the umpires use in their grading system. Yes, home plate umpires do get graded, believe it or not. It's not public. But how they perform throughout the course of a season has a lot to do with whether they get a postseason assignment or not.
Right, it used to be a rotation. Everybody used to be able to participate. All the umpires, they take turns. Not anymore. And that's the way it should be. The best of the umpires should be umpiring the postseason.
I think without telling anybody, our friends at Fox Tracks, that's a Wisconsin company, by the way, just make that box a little bit bigger. Nobody will know. Expand the strike zone a little bit.
I'm all for it.
It's a better game when guys are up there swinging.
You'd like to go back to the Eric Gregg strike zone, wouldn't you?
That was a nice strike zone. Ask Levon Hernandez about that Eric Gregg strike zone.
Right.
That was a little excessive.
About 2 feet wide.
Well, prior to the tracks grading system, umpires used to have personality with their strike zones. I think they still do to some extent, but not like it used to be. And leagues had different strike zones.
And Bruce Fleming said that's not true.
See, I don't believe Bruce Fleming when he says that, even though it's his birthday.
A strike is a strike, he said.
That's the stock answer.
And he has never wavered from that answer.
You caught in the big leagues where certain umpires highball strike callers?
Absolutely. No 2 umpires had the same strike zone, Bruce.
Come on, Traits. You make a good umpire from 300 feet away. Say hello to Bruce. Probably got his Packer hat on right now.
And I always, when he says that, I choose not to respond.
He could throw you out technically.
Out of respect for Bruce.
As an umpire supervisor, he could eject you from the premises.
Has a broadcaster ever been ejected?
Oh, yeah. I saw one. In the NBA, Gene Peterson of the Rockets got thrown out. ripping the refs courtside.
Wow.
It was great. Walked him right out. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Henderson strikes out Cabrera.
But I mean, in the NBA, you can stand up, take your headset off, and start wearing a referee out. They could hear you. You can't do that here.
I don't know, Rock. If you yell loud enough, see if you can get Jim Reynolds' attention from up here.
I know Ed Cedar could.
Did you see the minor league clip from earlier this year? The Oregon player,
right,
after a botched call, started playing 3 blind mice on the Oregon.
He got tossed.
And he got tossed out. The home plate umpire threw him out. Can you imagine Dean Roscoe getting run? Hey, Dean, sneak in a little 3 blind mice here for us. We'll see what happens.
Bob Davidson threw out a fan last year here.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. That's not funny.
That doesn't happen often.
0-2 to count. Dean Roscoe, the great Oregon player here at Miller Park.
Never had a bad day.
He's got a way to, slide that in. Make it sound like an ABBA song. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Henderson strikes out Forsythe.
Yep, just reaching back and blowing one right by Forsythe. Outer half, 96 miles an hour. Threw it right by him.
Seven strikeouts for the Brewers as a team tonight. Strike to Chase Headley. Headley with 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. Popped him up. Challenged him with a fastball. And Henderson goes 1, 2, 3 with a couple of Ks. Boy, how impressive has Big Jim Henderson been this year?
Here in the 7th time now for our Pulse of Social Media. Many of the Brewers stars sitting tonight, and tonight we asked you to pick your star of the season by selecting your Brewers pitcher and player of the year. Let's get right into it. Kevin said, how about the rookies? Aoki and Fiers get my vote for the MVP combo this year. Neither wound up where expected and played well. Both obviously pleasant surprises. Jacob said, Braun and Gallardo. Giovanni turned up the heat after Greinke was traded, and Braun's had an MVP caliber season. Jake followed suit, saying, easy choices for the crew players of the year. Braun near the top offensively all around. Yo's quality starts, wins, strikeouts, plus being completely dominant in the second half. There you go, BA and Rock, your Brewers player and pitcher of the year, according to the fans.
I like it, and I agree. Braun and Gallardo. That's nice to see. There's been some surprises. Aoki fits in that category. Segura and the young talent. But yeah, Braun and Gallardo are the two faces of the franchise. The two players that the Brewers have signed up to long-term contracts, and they build the organization around. They both responded well. Dale Thayer is the new pitcher, Rock. Padres bullpen has retired 9 in a row, and Thayer is here for the 7th inning.
Yeah, good numbers for Thayer, 3.51 ERA.
And a base hit. Segura fights one off and muscles it into center field. So the first hit since Maldonado's home run, the grand slam.
Hey fans, get your tickets now for Brewers on Deck, presented by Time Warner Cable. That's Sunday, January 27th. Buy your tickets by November 1st and get a voucher for select Brewers home game next April. Visit brewers.com/on-deck for details.
Crowd of over 30,000 tonight. 30,714.
Incredible fans.
It's been a great year at the gate. Makes it a joy to come to the ballpark. Segura takes off. Hit and run is on. Base hit. Bianchi. Segura to third base as Jeff Bianchi scorches one back up the middle. His first hit of the night.
And two good approaches by Segura and Bianchi. Talking about those young guys. Inexperienced players in the big leagues. Setting the table. Both of them going right back through the middle, not trying to pull the baseball. Hit and run on, and just out of the reach of Everest Cabrera up in the middle. And a good start to the 6th. Make that 7th for the Brewers.
Crowd responding to Nyjer Morgan being announced as the pinch hitter. They still remember. It's been a frustrating year for Morgan, but still has one of the biggest hits in franchise history, the one that sent the Brewers to the LCS. The Yankee took off. Morgan fouls it back.
Had that one stolen. The Padres not even worried about him. They've got the infield in with nobody out, figuring we can't fall behind any further, and taking a big risk. Yeah, why not steal?
Brewers do have a stolen base tonight. Aoki swiped second in the 3rd inning. Dale Thayer is sitting on a scoreless streak right now. He's working on 7 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. And that is in jeopardy here. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. 4-3, the Brewers lead it. Had a 4-1 lead at one point. It was actually 4-0 after 3 innings. Morgan playing the role of run producer here in the 7th. Headley expectant for a bunt. And it's 0-2 on Nyjer.
He just hasn't had many at-bats to keep himself sharp at the plate. Makes it very tough. There's really nowhere to play right now with the way Gomez, Aoki have been swinging the bat.
And he struck him out. Morgan chased the high fastball at 95 miles an hour, and Thayer picks up his first out.
And now the Padres bring their infield back into double play depth. Kind of interesting that Bianchi didn't run again. No chance they're going to be able to throw him out.
Frankie Rodriguez in the bullpen. He'll have the 8th. Nori Aoki at the plate, presented by Wendy's. 3 hits yesterday, had an infield hit earlier tonight. A bunt single. Looks like a pitching change coming up for Bud Black. Thayer is out with a lefty coming up. And the new pitcher coming in will set him up when we continue. inning, the Brewers threatening. Have runners at the corners now with one out as Tommy Lane will take over for Dale Thayer.
Two left-handers in that bullpen. Lane one, Joe Thatcher the other. Plenty of pitching in both bullpens tonight. Tom Lane in his 25th game, a .352 earned run average. You're got to dig pretty deep to find a reliever down in that bullpen with the Padres that has not done pretty well this year. And he's got Aoki and Schaefer, the scheduled hitter, on deck. I wonder when Ron Renneke, when and if he's going to go to that bench. He's got a number of pretty good right-handed hitters on that bench.
Well, Corey Hart available, Aramis Ramirez, Jonathan Lucroy. We may let it ride with the rookies here.
Yeah, Weeks, Gomez. Most of them normally starting.
Aoki will step in with runners at the corners. Aoki against left-handers this year, a .269 batting average. Holding his own against lefties this season.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Aoki doesn't try and drop down a bunt here. Try and take one with him to steal a run. Infield in again, not trying to turn two. Aoki's too fast.
We'll see if Bianchi takes off here, tries to steal the base. And Aoki punts it foul. Bud Black knows this play well. This is one that was crafted with the Angels, the first and third bunt.
A little bit more difficult to get a good jump against a left-hander. You don't want to get picked off. And it doesn't look like the Padres are interested in turning a double play, so you better be careful if you run.
And Cedar calls time. Wants to go through the signs again for Aoki. Cedar gets him from the bench and then relays him to the players. The game within the game. There's a lot going on between every pitch. Doesn't seem like much to the naked eye, but a whole lot of thinking going on. Signals being made, discussions.
If Aoki's going to bunt, he squared around again on the pickoff to first. I'm going to try and take one down the first baseline. We've got Headley in on the grass. Alonso has to hold the runner.
Aoki is a great bunter. Got two very fast runners aboard in Segura and Bianchi. And he takes one, does Aoki. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A very unusual technique. I mean, Aoki squaring around early as if to sacrifice. That's certainly not what he's trying to do. He's trying to place a perfect bunt between the pitcher and the first baseline.
And every now and then, Renneke will take the bunt off in a spot like this and let the hitter swing away, see if he can do some damage. See what he does. The 1-1, he squares and he bunts it foul. Now a ball and 2 strikes. And now you could see the Yankee take off. 4-3 Brewers. We're in the 7th. First and third, 1 out. And Aoki is drilled. I think they got him on the pad.
That was a breaking ball, too. Certainly no intent there.
He had a thud, but Aoki has that armor on, and that might have saved him, I think. I'll have to take a look at it, but that's going to load the bases. Hit on a 2-strike pitch. See where this gets him.
Yeah, it did, I think. Sounded like he got the pad. He's going to be all right. He's going to get himself out of the way, and here comes Carlos Gomez.
So now Renicky will take his shot with a right-handed hitter.
You figure Bud Blackford to counter with a right-hander. You might think, but he's not going anywhere. Now here he comes. I knew he'd do it.
So the call to the bullpen. Gomez coming up. Remember, Braun is on deck. And a new pitcher coming on. Gomez sitting on 19 home runs. 4-3 Brewers. Carlos Gomez has been on a home run binge lately and this year, and he's showing a little leather with his glove as well. This was Thursday in Cincinnati. Had the home run, made 2 catches. Went deep on Friday as well, then came back on Saturday, made a great catch. How about last night? Opposite field home run for Gomez. That was number 19.
Yep, and he knew it. Well, bases loaded again. The Brewers have another one in them tonight.
Martin Maldonado hit a grand slam in the 3rd inning. That came with 2 outs. Gomez bats with the bases loaded and 1 out for the new pitcher, Brad Boxberger.
And another Padre that was part of that Matt Latos deal. 4th time he's been with the Padres this year.
Gomez a chance to add to the lead. Oh, high and tight. Call this check swing, according to the first base umpire James Hoy.
Slings that one out of there, doesn't he? That's some good giddy up on that pitch at 94. Up and in on Gomez. Pretty close on the swing.
It's ball 1. Infield in. Great speed on the bases for the Brewers. Huge hack from Gomez. Brewers about as fast as they can be on the bases, and you get a power swing from Gomez.
This ball pretty straight. He had a good hack on that pitch. A little bit behind it.
Got another good hack. Another high fastball.
Doesn't get cheated, does he?
So Gomez is down a ball and 2 strikes. Gene Segura has been at 3rd base for a while. Brewers had runners at the corners with nobody out. Nigel Morgan struck out. Aoki was hit. Now Gomez is up. Frankie Rodriguez will have the 8th inning. Gomez trying to give him a little insurance here. The 1-2. Another one up there. That's Gomez's trouble spot, the high fastball. It looks good. It's just not good for you. Dropped a little change up in there.
Good pitch and a good take by Gomez.
Full count now.
You figure fastball's coming here.
Segura at third. Great speed. It's Bianchi at second. Aoki at first. The payoff pitch. Gomez had one to hit. Fouled it away. Cincinnati made that trade with the now in mind, getting Latos. The Padres with the future in mind, and they've got a great return on investment. Got all three of their guys in there today. 3-2 pitch, and Gomez pops it up. Infield fly rule in effect. And out number 2.
Took a little off. 82 miles an hour. Not sure it was a breaking ball or a changeup. It was a 7-pitch at bat. Gomez almost hit by the first pitch. And then Boxberger just rearing back and throwing a couple of fastballs by him. And then Gomez kind of had a little meeting with himself. A good take on a changeup. And then finally, another off-speed pitch. Looked like a changeup again, and Gomez popped it up.
And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Remember, Braun is chasing Chase Headley, San Diego's third baseman. He is one behind Headley for the National League lead in RBIs. He could take care of that with one swing of the bat here. Base hit to the outfield would score 2 for sure. They'll be on the move with 2 outs. Bases loaded for Braun. He's looking for his first hit. Had a walk and a run scored in the third. The kind of spots Braun usually thrives in. Late inning. Runners on base. Has 3 career grand slams. Cameras are up. Ooh, that fastball is a good one.
Yep, up in the zone. Felt high, got it right by Braun. 93 miles an hour.
Good old-fashioned country hardball right there. He's dialed in that high fastball. Brewers lead by 1. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball away. So haven't seen the changeup yet to Braun. A couple of breaking balls from Boxberger. First year in the big leagues. It's been a good part of the season in AAA Tucson this year. It's been good for the Padres in the major leagues this season. The 2-1. Down and in. 3 balls and a strike. And you wonder what Chase Headley is thinking here. That RBI race. A walk would produce a run batted in. Now Boxberger has to come to Braun. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Full count.
Must be something about that release point that he's able to throw that fastball by these hitters. It's only 93.
The runners will start with the pitch. Full count, 2 outs. Braun fouls it away, able to stay alive. Crossfire action of Brad Boxberger.
Yeah, that high 3/4. He slings it out of that arm slot, and it looks like it makes it tough on these right-handed hitters.
Do it again. There go the runners. And a strikeout. Braun goes down swinging. Brad Boxberger. Wow. Impressive. Strands the bases loaded. And Brad Boxberger, impressive.
Well, Ryan Braun with an opportunity with the bases loaded, and he's one behind Chase Headley. Boxberger just couldn't get the changeup over, and then when he fell behind, he started to fire the fastball. And Ryan just a tick behind that heater, fouls that one off, and then it looks like he swings the ball 4 up in the strike zone.
Just powered it right by him. A couple of strikeouts in that 7th inning. Boxberger got Gomez and Braun with the bases loaded. Gomez stays in the game to play center field. Frankie Rodriguez will pitch. Brewers lead 4-3. Head to the 8th inning.
Yeah, Frankie's been throwing the baseball pretty well. Very well in yesterday's ball game. Pitched a scoreless 8th inning and included a strikeout. On a roll. 77th appearance for Frankie Rodriguez.
Here's Yonder Alonso. Speaking of former Reds, as he takes a strike. The Nationals won tonight. They beat the Phillies 4-2. They're inching their way toward a best record and a #1 seed in the postseason. Hit hard to right. A sinking line drive, Aoki. Well, he wrestled with that one, but he makes the play for the first out. Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? One more to go tomorrow. Game 162. Kind of sad. Fox Sports Wisconsin will have it for you. 6:30 is airtime.
Where did the summer go? Things went a lot quicker the last 6 weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah, Brewers fought their way into a pennant race. Just eliminated on Sunday officially. Now they'll be able to hold their head proud. It was a good rally. Brewers certainly disappointed that they were in a hole in the first place. 12 games under on the 20th of August. Starting play on the 20th of August. But they've secured a winning season. 4 games over right now. Could go to 5 over with a victory tonight. And try to add 1 more tomorrow. Make it an 84 win season. That would be something. Something that was unexpected.
Right. Well, going into the season, you thought it was going to be a lot more than 84, but about midway through, you didn't think they'd get to 80. Not the way things were going. Nice bounce back.
One and two on Jesus Guzman, who drove in a run with a hit in the 6th. Popped him up. And out number 2. Our text question tonight from Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. Which rookie starting pitcher could be considered a lock for the 2013 rotation? Jeff in West Dallas. The phrasing rookie and lock never goes well together.
Right. Rookie this year?
Yes, rookie this year.
What's rookie this year? I don't think anybody's ever a lock. You never know what's going to happen in the offseason.
I think Mike Fiers has earned his spot in the rotation with the way he pitched through the bulk of the season.
Right. Seemed like he tired his last couple of starts. I like Mark Rogers' chances.
Willie Peralta showed well.
Pretty good. Yeah. It's all going to come down to what Doug Melvin feels is in the best interest of the starting rotation and how aggressive they're going to be, and making a move and getting a pitcher. They're very rich in pitching all of a sudden, and you never know. You might get some guys that you're high on. You might make a trade. You might get a bona fide starter that's been around a while, that's had some pedigree in the big leagues. Got options, let's put it that way.
Always need depth when you go through a season. Very rarely do you start a season and finish it with the same personnel. I mean, the Reds, that's what's been impressive about their year this year. A lot like the Brewers last season. They've only used 6 starters this season.
Yeah, get that guy back, Chris Narveson. Nice to have a left-hander in that rotation.
Narveson said his rehab from shoulder surgery is coming along very well. There's a swing and a miss. K-Rod living up to his nickname as he strikes out Venable a 1-2-3-8.
The 8th inning, and Ryan Braun, one of the few regulars in there today. It's been the young replacements in a lot of different ways, guys, that have helped this club to a 4-3 lead right now.
Well, certainly, and I'm going to start with Martin Maldonado. His contribution, sometimes when you get in, you want to make a contribution. His contribution came with a grand slam home run to put the Brewers up 4-0. And then Taylor Green. I mean, my goodness, he made a play that saved at least 2 runs although he didn't get anybody out, but that diving play, that was the contribution he made to keep the Brewers ahead.
And one thing you look at Tyler Thornberg, what he wanted to do is finish the season with a good, strong start, and that's what he did. He had a good use of his breaking ball tonight, good fastball, using the strike zone very well.
All right, our Marshfield Clinic shining moment. The young guns doing the job tonight for Milwaukee so far in this game. Brewers Live coming up. We'll have it all covered, and including Thornberg's night tonight and our instructional, going to be a loaded instructional full of former major leaguers, Brian. We're all looking forward to it.
Oh, yes, we are, as we are every night. As Ishikawa takes strike 2, Joe Thatcher is on the mound, former Brewer farmhand. What do we have tonight in the instructional? Has that been determined by the committee?
Yes, it has. We are going to talk about an off-season throwing program.
Ah, very nice.
You know, how much time maybe you want to give to just kind of recharge the batteries, maybe rest. And Jerry Augustine, very proficient. He knows all about that. He was a college coach.
There's a lot of prep players finishing up a fall ball league in the next couple of weeks, and as the cold weather comes and you start to get into your off season. I like that.
A lot of throwing in the gym here in Wisconsin.
Yes.
In the winter. Because you've got a lot of facilities around town to work out.
Joe Thatcher strikes out Ishikawa to start the 8th inning. You can always mess around at home. If you got a towel, snap that towel like a throwing motion. You can work on your breaking ball with the old empty tennis can.
You're giving away the whole instructional. We have nothing left to talk about.
Maybe I should just come down there and do it for you.
I think you should. How long has it been since you've been down for one?
I hadn't been invited. Just hanging around, waiting for my shot. Put me in, coach. That's a pretty exclusive club down there of, as Craig mentioned, former big leaguers. You guys don't like to associate with members of the media. Even though your credential clearly says media on it, which I know bothers you, which is why you never wear it.
You talking to me? I have to wear it on the road. I don't wear it here.
Bill Schroeder, media.
Media. I know it hurts.
Ooh. Two and one to Maldonado. Memorable night for him tonight. His first career grand slam. The only runs the Brewers have scored tonight. One swing of the bat back in the 3rd inning.
Yep, only 5 hits for the crew tonight.
Three and one to Maldonado. The funky left-hander, Joe Thatcher.
This would be a nice win for the young Brewers out there in that starting lineup tonight. Reneke playing a majority of his young players, and San Diego rolled out most of their starters.
7 rookies in the starting lineup tonight for the Brewers.
You know they want to win tonight.
Full count to Maldonado. Walked him. So Maldonado is aboard. A 1-out walk, and that will bring up Taylor Green. As Davey mentioned, Taylor Green had the play of the day so far. Not only did it save a run, maybe 2, kept the Brewers in the lead. If he doesn't make that play, the Padres will certainly tie the game and most likely take a 5-4 lead. But a great diving stop by Green. And then Cameron Lowe was able to pitch out of the inning. Henderson worked a scoreless 7th with 2 Ks. K-Rod a scoreless 8th with a strikeout. So the Brewers have 8 strikeouts tonight. And that major league record is in their sights. Green pops it up. Out number 2. As of right now, the Brewers need 10 strikeouts to tie the major league record for strikeouts in a season by a pitching staff. Bud Black's going to make a double switch here with Segura coming up. Andy Perino will come in to play the outfield, and Bud Black going with the right-hander. Luke Gregerson will set him up when we come back. A double switch and a pitching change for Bud Black. 2 outs in this 8th inning. The Brewers have a man on. Segura is coming up, and the new pitcher is Luke Gregerson. And Bud Black will bring on Andy Perino. He takes over at right field. That moves DeNorfia to center field. And now Gregerson on the mound.
Yeah, talk about good numbers. How about Luke Gregerson? 76th appearance, 2-0 record. Super earned run average under 2.5, and he's got just as many strikeouts as innings pitched. A .219 opponent batting average to go along with it.
So here is Gene Segura with Maldonado at first base. 2 gone in the inning. Segura is 1 for 3. Yankees Red Sox going to the 12th inning now, all tied at 3. After the Orioles beat the Rays tonight. A Yankee loss means a first place tie. Alex Rodriguez thought he hit one out to win the game. But look at Jacoby Ellsbury run that one down. Nice catch. So they play on in the Bronx. Cardinals Reds are nearing the end. Cincinnati has a 3-1 lead as they play in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cardinals coming up. Oldest Chapman on the mound trying to close it out. Bouncing ball, and that will do it. So the inning is over. The double switch works. We go to the 9th. Here comes the Axeman, a save opportunity. To the 9th we go at Miller Park. And the Brewers looking for their 83rd win of the year, a 4-3 lead. And John Axford is on the mound to try to save it for Milwaukee. Our Columbia St. Mary's save tracker. Axford has 34 on the season. Been a rough year for him closing games, but he can try to finish with a bang here. Had a save the other day against the Astros, and looking for number 35 here tonight.
Well, he's already finished with a bang. Converted 16 of his last 17 save opportunities. And he's got the bottom of the Padres order here in the bottom of the 9th. Or the top of the 9th. That's my mistake.
Denorfia leads off, and he takes a ball. Denorfia now the center fielder for the Padres. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewers will wrap it up tomorrow. Gallardo's still on the sheet to start, but odds are he will not. But we'll have to wait and see. We might get an answer from Ron Renicky tonight, so stay tuned to our Brewers Live post-game show. And if Gallardo does not start tomorrow, he doesn't pitch, he'll finish the season 16-9 with a 3.66 ERA.
Another tremendous year for Giovanni.
Would miss his career best by 1 win. He won 17 last year. 1-2 to Denorfia. Oh, beauty there. Axford with a slider strike. Denorfia goes down looking.
Yeah, he was looking fastball, and then Axe threw the slider right down the middle of the plate. Bingo. That's been a good pitch for him. That slider. Throws it for strikes a lot more than the curveball this year.
Here's Yasmani Grandal, the switch hitter. There's the curveball for strike 1. You hear a lot of pitching coaches say it's hard to throw a curveball and a slider simultaneously. I guess a different feel on the pitch, different kind of motion.
Especially for a closer. I mean, you know, normally closers are going to have 2 pitches that they can command pretty well. Last year, Axford was throwing a fastball and a curveball. Hardly ever threw a slider, but this year, especially in the second half, more sliders than curves.
One ball, 2 strikes on the rookie catcher, Grandal. Reds have beaten the Cardinals tonight in Cincinnati. Matt Latos won his 14th. Aroldis Chapman with his 38th save. Latos beat Chris Carpenter tonight. So that means the Dodgers, with a victory tonight, can climb within a game with 1 to play. That last wild card spot not settled yet. However, if the Dodgers lose tonight, then the Cardinals are in.
The Dodgers certainly have incentive. Now that they know the Cardinals have already lost.
Dodgers are trailing 2-1 to the Giants in the top of the 4th at Chavez Ravine. 2-2. Grandal bounces 1 foul. Good West Coast baseball watching tonight. Got the Dodger game on, the A's and the Rangers. That's a good race. A's can tie the Rangers with a victory tonight. Swing and a miss. Axford powers a fastball by Grandal, and 2 gone in the 9th.
10 strikeouts now for the Brewers as a team. They'll continue that chase. Axford's been throwing well. It's a shame what happened in Cincinnati. He was throwing well that day too. Until that home run.
A 2-out homer by Frazier. Axford looking for save number 35. 2 outs. Andy Perino, the batter, his first trip to the plate. Just entered the game on the double switch. Perino, the switch hitter. Two balls, no strikes. Tyler Thornberg started. Kinsler would be the pitcher of record, you would think, as the winner, if Axford can close it out. Kinsler with an inning and a third of scoreless baseball. Manny Parr struggled. Cameron Lowe got out of a mess. Jim Henderson was flawless in a scoreless seventh. K-Rod a 1-2-3 eighth, and now the Axeman.
Johnny Holstaff and Ron Renicky is hoping that 7 pitchers are enough to win this one tonight.
Two balls, 1 strike on Perino. Strike 2. Poured it in, 96 miles an hour. Can Axford strike out the side? Perino able to take it. A good check, and the count goes full 3-2. Full count, 2 outs. Here it comes. And a line drive left field down. A base hit. Perino extends the game with a 2-out single.
Man, got the ball down and was able to get the bat on it. Now, when Axford gets that pitch up around the belt, they don't hit it. They get it down, it's a little bit different story. Watch where it ends up. Down around the knees, and Perino does a nice job just dropping the bat head and driving it into left. Get that pitch up about 6 inches, and he's not going to get a swing at it.
So we go to the top of the order now. Everett Cabrera, first base runner for the Padres since the 6th inning. Brewers relievers had retired 9 straight. The speedy Cabrera, he struck out twice today but has 2 hits as well. And that one's into left center, falling fast. That's down for a hit. Perino on his way to third. He falls down, but he'll make it. He fell down between second and third, but able to recover.
Well, Gomez didn't want a chance throwing it to third base and have Cabrera get into second. And that would be the go-ahead run out there. Yeah, slice job out into center field. The Brewers outfield was relatively deep. Nobody could get it. Perino falls down, and I think a good decision by Gomez just to play it safe, making sure that Cabrera doesn't get into scoring position himself.
Well, now first and third. Tying run at third base. The go-ahead run at first. Here is Logan Forsythe. The dangerous Chase Headley is on deck.
And you figure Everett Cabrera is going to steal second at some point here. Axford takes a while to get rid of it. You don't want to have to deal with Headley. This is the guy you want, the guy at the plate right now.
Back to the fastball. Fouled it away. He was late. 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Axford. 1 ball, 1 strike on Forsythe. He has struck out 3 times tonight. The National League leader in RBIs is on deck.
I'm not sure why Cabrera is not trying to steal second base.
Nice play. Maldonado saves a run there. Outstanding block from Martin Maldonado.
Yeah, that slider in the dirt. You never know how that ball's going to bounce once it hits the ground. And doing a nice job squaring himself up and dropping right in front of him.
That's textbook. Catchers will tell you that's like hitting a home run. Saves a run.
It's like an RBI for sure.
Maldonado has the grand slam tonight, responsible for all 4 runs on the board. So it's 2 balls and a strike on Forsythe. Axford still a chance to strike out the side, but this crowd has gone quiet. Another block. Did he go? Yes, he did. Forsythe unable to check his swing, and it's 2-2.
Gutsy pitch on a 2-1 count. Could have gone either way. The last thing you want to see is Chase Headley walking a home plate. Of course, this guy can hurt you too, so you got to throw him strikes. Choose your poison. Which guy would you rather face?
I'm with you, Rock. Surprising that Cabrera is still at first. Situation that calls for a stolen base. 2-2. Runner goes, and a bouncing ball to Segura. He's got it. Throw to first in time. Ball game. The Brewers win. John Axford with his 35th save. A 4-3 final. And Milwaukee to 83-78 to 5 games over. Brandon Kinsler is the winner. At 4-0, Tyler Thornberg started, pitched well, 4 innings tonight. And a spot start, final appearance of the season. Nice win for the Brewers. As we check in with Craig Deshawn, what do you have coming up on Brewers Live, Craig?
Brewers trying to finish strong here. Good win here tonight. Maldonado, the grand slam. Hope to catch up with him. We will catch up with Ron Runicky in that clubhouse as well. And take a look at the final game of the season coming up tomorrow night.